Hi, I'm Elena, and this is Business Casual, your guide to dressing Europe. Here we unpack all things e-commerce, logistics, and Europe for fashion and lifestyle. In this episode, we focus on drones, flexibility, and seamless convenience. Today, I'm joined by Christian Bierwirth, Director of Logistics Product Management at Zalando. Welcome, Christian.
Thanks for having me.
I have a question for you, and you need to pick sci-fi or fantasy.
It's going to be sci-fi all the way. And mainly because of the fact that I believe 2001: A Space Odyssey is one of the best movies of all time.
I completely agree with you. Kubrick is one of the best directors of all times. But for me, it's a bit tough because I'm also a huge fan of The Lord of the Rings. But consumers agree with you fully. Sci-fi is very much a big trend again on the catwalk or in the streets, and we have it represented here by this beautiful, sleek bag. And I can very well imagine it on a trip to Mars with Elon, for example. What's the best part is that it could also be delivered by a drone in the nearest future. What do you think about this, Christian? Is this sci-fi or just fantasy?
I think it's more real than we think it is, even though it's not in the press every day. But we know that DHL, UPS, even Alphabet have been researching and running trials for drones delivering to mostly remote areas, and it's already working. What I even think is more important, or not important, but more interesting, is autonomous vehicle delivery. When looking at the autonomous taxis that are self-driving in San Francisco and other areas, I would think it's not that far away. It's probably only a matter of a few years.
Let's focus a bit closer to home. Europe is a very diverse and unique market where consumers have locally relevant expectations. So what kind of trends do you see when it comes to the post-purchase experience?
That's a biggie. For something that customers need instantly, speed will always be the overruling factor. But for the majority of customers, we see the clear pattern that precision and flexibility is king or queen. Customers demand more products that enable them to deliver the parcel when they want it. So, for example, evening delivery or weekend delivery, or the ability to reschedule a delivery.
So we talked about what's common for European consumers, but what kind of locally relevant differences do you see when customers purchase across Europe?
That one continent is actually quite different when you look at country level. So our Dutch customers, for instance, have very high standards, and they should have. They're looking at one-day delivery as a as a clear standard for the market, and you can't really excite them by this. In other countries, for example, our newer family members in Eastern Europe, like Romania, the penetration of online shopping isn't that strong. So these expectations haven't yet formed to that degree, and we can set new standards much easier. In Poland, we have a different story altogether, where customers really prefer the delivery to lockers, which gives them pure flexibility, and they can pick up their parcel whenever they want.
You have a lot of knowledge about convenience expectations. I'm sure you apply a lot of that at Zalando. So how does Zalando ensure a seamless, locally relevant convenience experience?
For starters, we partner with over 40 delivery companies who are locally trusted. We're experimenting alongside several dimensions in regards to speed, convenience in some areas of Europe, to learn more about our customers and about opportunities that we have and where we can really push the envelope for our customers. With regards to internal optimization, we are consistently investing in artificial intelligence. For example, one of the biggest problems that we have in a big network is to always have that item that customers want really close by. And that is a problem and a challenge that we are solving with machine learning, with algorithms that are self-teaching, and that are ever more precise, becoming ever more precise, and helping us to speed up the delivery journey on our side before actually the item gets into the hands of the delivery carrier. So that makes the journey more convenient and seamless, faster, and also overall cheaper for everyone.
I asked a lot of questions about deliveries, but what about returns, the dark side of e-commerce?
The big question. Returns are the linchpin in the e-commerce experience, in my opinion. It's something where it's an area where you can really make the customer experience great, and where you can shape the experience and the perception of customers of, in our case, Zalando. That's why we work on this very, very hard. Our aim is to offer customers a range of return opportunities and options that caters to their needs and that gives them the maximum flexibility. As an example, in Germany, we see that customers really value the pre-printed return label in the box, which they traditionally have used in several ways of shopping over the past. And in other countries, it's different, where in France, for example, you see customers really adopt a QR code that we have instead of a label. So it's a paperless experience. And also Norwegian customers, for example, really love that. And that's how we cater to different requirements. We also even see in some markets that home pickups are surging based on customer demand and needs.
To recap our conversation, Europe is a very diverse and unique market where consumers have local expectations. However, we do see some similarities around speed, flexibility, precision, and sustainability. Thanks for unpacking this topic with me today, Christian.
You're most welcome. Thanks for having me.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to Business Casual. Keep dressing Europe, and we'll see you soon.